This is Real Talk Baseball. I'm Carlos Baseball. With me, as always, is Ernie Orange. We have a great show for you guys today. It was a big week in baseball, but before we go into that, I want to see how Ernie Orange is doing. How's it going, dude? Everything good over there on that side?
Hey, Carlos. Well, enjoying this week of baseball, man. It was an awesome week. It would probably be my favorite week of baseball so far. It was a lot of intense drama, and we got to see some fists go out in the air, and it was a great weekend for baseball.
Hell yeah, it was, man. If you didn't see it this week, then we have you right here. We're going to go over it right now. I know we're a little late. We were supposed to go on yesterday, but we're on today. And if you can go ahead and like that video and hit that subscribe button, that'll help us out a lot. But let's go into it, man. We are going to talk about the Jose Ramirez, Tim Anderson, and what's going to happen with them. And if they're facing suspension, of course. Joe Kelly, was he intentionally throwing at Fernando Tatis? If you guys missed it, we'll go ahead and do that for you guys. The Yankees and Domingo Herman, what's going on over there? With the Yankees. There's other stuff with the Yankees that we'll get into, of course. And then the Angels, man. I know you're an Angel fan. It kind of hurts on that one, but we'll talk. Man. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. And then the Cubs, man. Are they for real? Are they really hot? We'll talk about them, and they beat a hot team. So we'll get into that as we go on. And then the Did You Know? And Ernie's going to test my knowledge at the end of the show. So if you guys want to stick around and help me out and put it on the comments, that will help out a lot. But let's go into the first one, man. Tim Anderson and Jose Ramirez, dude. If you missed it, man, let's play it for them right here. Ernie, I don't know if you want to go through it. Go
it's
through
a great
it.
Highlight.
Go through the video.
For sure, man. Well, right here, we're witnessing an old-fashioned baseball brawl that let Tim Anderson be knocked out by a counterpunch here. If you were watching this, Cleveland radio announcer Tom Hamilton, maybe you feel like you were watching an old-school boxing match. Tim Anderson put his fist up first, and he missed a couple punches, but a Hellmaker by Jose Ramirez, a right-hand counterpunch, just lands perfectly and puts Tim Anderson to sleep. And it was looking at him here with his gloves, man. Looked amazing. Looks like his agent posted this picture. Looks like this guy is nothing to be messing around with. What do you think? Did Tim Anderson do anything wrong, though?
You know what? I think I was hearing that he was tagging them too hard or something like that. And I guess
seen the stuff like that.
Yeah, the Guardians were taking it too hard. We're like, you know what? You're tagging me too hard, dude. Like, what the hell's your problem? But that Hellmaker came from Santo Domingo when he threw it. Bam! He just got him right there in the freaking face of Tim Anderson. And then not only that, there's a lot of players on the White Sox team that kind of been nonchalant, not caring about the game, doing whatever they want to do. And this is not the only incident I've heard. Right, Ernie?
Right, that is correct. Just reports came out yesterday that they state that Yasmani Grandal actually slapped Tim Anderson in the face. Now, he is denying reports of that, but looks like Yasmani Grandal wanted a day off before the All-Star break, and Tim Anderson, like always, like every baseball player should be, he wants to be a winner, and I guess was just upset that one of his teammates was taking a day off. What is going on in White Sox? Where is Jasper? We need more information here. It's not looking great out there in Chicago. Kenyon Middleton, that just went to the Yankees, claims that the culture there is bad, and everybody does whatever the hell they want there. So it's going to have to be some changes going down in Chicago, or else, this is going to continue to happen here.
Yeah, that's true, and that's funny because I've seen a lot of things that the White Sox, even they interviewed Lance Lynn coming out saying that, is it true if like the culture in out in Chicago, it's just like do whatever you want, and he didn't want to answer that question. I think it was on your favorite player, man, Przinsky.
Oh,
you know how he has he has a podcast, so he asked him that question. He just didn't want to answer. But I mean, if that's happening in Chicago, they need to start firing people, dude. They need to start letting people go. And as you saw the video, like, did you see like the teammates, Tim Anderson's teammates? I felt like no one went out and helped him, dude. I felt like it was just like, all right, you're gonna squabble, let them squabble, whatever. But I felt like no one was out to try to help them and punch them
back.
Them,
right? Like nobody defended. Yeah, it looks like they just kind of drag them away and kind of like get out the way, and that's it.
Yeah,
and it's strange. Maybe they understand that, hey, nobody likes Tim Anderson. It's been known that the whole league has not been a big fan of Tim Anderson in the past. Yeah. He has made some smart remarks in the past, and a lot of MLB players are not a big fan of him. So, not surprised this happened. And it's just shocking to see two main players, two all-stars, going at it. We have not seen this in a very long time. It's usually like a very small role player that just comes out there to make some drama happen. But this time around, we got to see two big names in the big markets and go down. It's amazing.
That is cool. All right, so if you were to umpire and you were in the middle of this, would you let this happen, or would you keep pushing them out away from each other?
Well, I think the umpire at that moment did the right thing. He's not going to get hit himself. If he puts his hands there trying to stop these two grown ass men, he's going to get punched himself. So he just like let them handle it. We'll just wait till everybody could come in here and help me out. I'm not going to put myself in danger like that.
Yeah, hey, you know what? There's a lot of announcers that are like, and down goes Anderson. It's pretty crazy. Like, and it's kind of like a down goes Frazier. That's famous line. And when I heard like down goes Anderson, because I wasn't really paying attention to the video when you sent it, and then I'm like, what? What the hell's going on? And then I'm like, I saw them throwing their fists, and I'm like, I haven't seen that in the wild. I think the last time I saw something like that was a big brawl was probably like. That I remember that they got connected. I think it was the Robin Ventura and the Nolan Ryan, dude. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. What brawl do you recall that's the most memorable to you? And that one's one up there for me as well. And the one with Amir Garrett when he tries to take on the whole team. When he deals with the Reds against the Pirates. That's a very classic one. This guy is huge, and he tried to take on a whole team by himself. And there goes Puig in the background trying to come and help. But there were still he was like not even a couple days into the team, and he had no relationship with none of these players. It's
but
kind of one of those memorable moments in baseball as well.
But they backed him up. They backed him up when he was there. So yeah. What's up, Tony? Thank you for that, man. Supposedly Anderson has moved his locker to the opposite side or the opposite end of the locker room, and I'm guessing from Gerdau, so he won't be around this guy. But I mean, it sucks. It's terrible in Chicago. They already started trading their players, and I mean, I don't know. Moving forward, what's going to happen? I'm guessing there's going to be coaches, managers, and possibly the GM starting to get fired there because they had an all-star team and they couldn't do anything with it. So I mean, it sucks. I mean, I see their frustration. I see why Tim Anderson, didn't let up. He was like, someone's talking shit to me. I'm gonna go and fight. So that's what happened. But that wasn't the only thing that happened this past weekend, which was kind of interesting in itself, man. You had the Dodgers and Padres, where you have this guy, crowding out the plate, and then you have him throwing the bat. So Joe Kelly, he's been known to throw at players, right? So with this happening, I mean, do you think this pitch right here is close to the head?
It's pretty up there, Carlos, but I don't think he intentionally tried to go for the head. I think he was just pitching him inside, trying to push him off the plate and trying to prove a point, man. Joe Kelly's not a big fan of cheaters, and he has proven time and time again that he's not going to go easy on them, and he's going to give them a hard time, even if that means he has to throw at their head. And that's why he's a Dodger fan favorite, because he has always been a guy that has been willing to put he doesn't care if he gets suspended, Carlos. This guy will go down 10 games. He doesn't care less. He's trying to prove a point here that cheating is not allowed, and those other guys have taken advantage, so he is not for it.
That's true, dude, and he is a fan favorite, and that's why we call this title the old school baseball, because it is old fashioned. It is one of those things where, like, okay, you're hitting me hard, you're throwing at me. Like back in the days, this right here would have started a brawl and would have just cleared the benches and would have just been the next, continue the series to be like that. But we're in the modern era. It doesn't happen anymore. So, I mean, I don't know. The MLB is investigating this. I don't know if you feel like Joe Kelly should get suspended. I mean, looking at it as a pitcher, when I've pitched before and I've hit before, of course, and I'm pretty sure you've done the same. If you have a 99-mile-per-hour fastball coming and it looks like it is his head or it's not his head, whatever, we can't say if it is or not. But if someone's throwing at you intentionally, do you reward this guy, or are you a fan of that, or do you feel like we shouldn't be doing that, trying to hurt him? If you're trying to throw at him at the torso. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, definitely. If they're going to try to go for him, try to aim lower, go for the legs, go for the body. But the head is a little dangerous, obviously. But Joe Kelly doesn't care, man. He's proven time and time. He went up. For example, in the past, he went on almost Carlos Correa's head with the Astros a couple years back. And even when he was a Red Sox pitcher, he started a whole brawl. He caused the whole brawl against the Yankees, Red Sox in the past. So this guy is always willing to fight, and he was ready to put his hands up. Luckily, the Padres were kind of quiet. They know who the big team in LA is, and they just kind of stay quiet, and They understand that they're not doing so well, so they can't really speak up right now. But
That's
I
true.
bet I felt if the Padres were in first place and this was happening, Carlos, trust me, Tatis will be trying to put up some fists up.
You think so?
Oh, for sure. It's just because the Padres have been the disappointment so far this season. I feel like they're just kind of staying quiet, playing the victim. But had they been the top team in the league right now, I think they would have been pushing back.
I agree,
because I feel like they would have been like, you're putting Mike, putting me, trying to get me hurt going into the playoffs. That would have been such a huge thing for them.
That's true. You know what? And Joe Kelly is known to throw the ball at players, and there's Hanley Ramirez back in, I believe, 2015 or 2014. I don't know what year it was, but he got hit in the ribs, and that kind of stopped the Dodgers to moving forward to try to potentially go to the World Series, because he was really red hot that playoff run. And Joe Kelly just put one in between the ribs, and he broke a rib, and he never came back, and the Dodgers lost that series. So he's known to do this. So that's why MLB is investigating this. But at the same time, you have him doing that, and you have one of the Padres players doing this. And if you're going to be against that throw, why are you not against this as well? Because you have this guy going after, and that's Mookie Betts, by the way, going after his head. That's too high of a leg kick sliding into second base, if you ask me. When you go into second, you kind of do lift your leg a little bit, but that's too high. I mean, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I hadn't really paid attention to this till you brought it up earlier to me. And you know what? Looking back now, that's a pretty high knee up there. And, he's not, if he had hurt Mookie Betts there, Dodgers will broke loose and try to start a fight there as well. It just seems like there's a lot of tension, drama with the Padres and Dodgers. And the Dodgers just tend to prove all the time that, hey, we're still the better team, and you can still second towards us,
Exactly. They probably woke up a rooster.
Very true, man.
Well, yeah. Or maybe they just woke up. I don't know. Whatever it is.
What do you think, though? The Padres stood no chance this week. I mean, they got that one lucky win on Saturday after they blew the bullpen kind of slowed down on Saturday night. But overall, the Dodgers show domination. Lance Lynn is looking like a great pickup. What the heck's going on? I know you were not a big fan of that.
I'm not.
But
I'm still not.
But the change of scenery, Carlos, makes a huge difference. When you finally have run support out there, all you have to worry about is throw strikes in the middle. And all you just have to trust your defense and trust the offense that they're going to produce the runs. And that's what Lance Lynn is doing. And it's benefiting him. Joe Kelly's doing the same. And when you're with these other teams, man, it's just the struggle when there's no offense, nothing to back you up. These pitchers struggle. So we're finally witnessing how great the Dodgers offense really is. With Max Muncy kind of not having the best batting average this year, but Mookie and Betts and Freddie Freeman are off to like one of the best starts we've ever seen. And JD Martinez backing them up as a DH. Man, what a great pickup by the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's true. And you know what? Almonte was the one that I literally saw when they brought him in on Saturday. And if you can ask everybody that was around me, I said, that's it. He's going to give up all these runs because he's not ready for that moment. He's not ready. He hasn't pitched for that moment in a long time. So why even bring him in? The Dodgers could have swept the Padres and could have put them in a place where they wouldn't be able to come back. But again, they're still 3.5, 4 games behind in the wild card, which I don't understand. No one in front of them is winning. The only team that's winning in front of them right now are the Cubs, and they're doing great. So let's just get into the Cubs, man. They're doing really good. That we'll just put the standings there. So you guys can see the Padres are way down there and four games back in the wild card, but they're 1 behind the Reds going into the wild card. And then in the division, 2.5, 2.5 games. That's not bad at all. And what surprises you about the Cubs? Like, remember we were talking about the Cubs not trading Bellinger and Stroman, and we were kind of like, there's no news because of that, right? But now that they held back and they wanted to keep these players, the Cubs are hot. They're proving to try to go into the playoffs. Do you feel like this is the team that's going to do it to try to make it far?
You know what? A couple of weeks back, we were kind of disappointed that they didn't sell, and I feel like they made a huge difference in the trade deadline. But the way they have been playing lately, Carlos, you would think this team has enough to make a deep run. They do have very experienced players like Dansby Swanson that they picked up and Cody Bellinger. That's the main reason why they went out for these guys in free agency. They wanted to bring in experienced batters to add to their younger players, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, their pitching has been pretty solid with the return of Kyle Hendricks, Drew Smiley, Justin Steele. It's been a great team so far. They've won 13 out of their last 17 games, have won the past 6 consecutive series. With the other teams up in the wild card have just been kind of going downhill, Carlos. The Marlins, the Diamondbacks, the Reds have been struggling ever since the trade deadline. And it makes you wonder that with the Cubs playing this well, I don't see them not going down anymore. This is their time. They picked it up at the right moment, at the right time, and I see them making a deep run. How about you? Do you see them making a run for the playoffs?
Yeah, dude, I do. I kind of feel like right now the Cubs are sitting where they're supposed to, and I feel like they're gonna. I just feel like they're a more complete team than Cincinnati. And if there's Cincinnati fans out there, it's nothing against you. It's just I feel like they
Yeah,
lack the experience. I feel like the Cubs have that experience. They have those veteran players and those veteran roles filled. So I feel like they can take that third spot, possibly even go all the way up to the second spot in the wild card. But I'm just going to take it step by step, game by game, and I do feel like the Chicago Cubs are going to take it over from the Cincinnati Reds. As you guys can see, I'm not trying to go back to the Padres thing, but they are 4 games behind, and they still can make a run, and they can make that push. They still have to climb over the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Miami Marlins, and of course the red hot Chicago Cubs. And I mean, having those veteran present players in that team can push you and make you go far. And they're not veterans, super veterans, because you have, like you said, Cody Bellinger and Dansby Swanson that just won it not too long ago. So they're
right.
hungry to
You
do it again. They want
you
to
do
prove
have
that they
players.
can do it.
That is correct. You do bring some playoff experience into your middle of your lineup. And not only that, the Cubs made only one single move in the middle of the trade deadline, and it was to add Chamber Calendario. And that was such a great pickup that a lot of players wanted that third baseman at bat. And the
Yeah,
Cubs adding him also adds another addition to the bolster of the lineup. And
that's true.
you know what? Don't be shocked if the Cubs go in and win the NL Central. The Brewers have just been a team that's also, they're only 2.5 back. So I wouldn't be shocked to them make a move and jump into the NL Central.
Damn.
But right now for that
Whoa,
last,
you're predicting that one?
hey, I wouldn't be surprised, Carlos. With 2.5 back, the Cubs have the team to go fight against the Brewers and go fight for that first place.
Yeah. Okay.
Would
Well,
I have predicted this back in March? Heck no. And I don't even think I would have predicted this a month ago. So that's how it tells you how baseball is. It's a sport that you could just get hot at the right moment, the right time, and you can make a deep run.
yeah,
And
I believe
and even
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
even though we have all these teams are like we're saying like either Padres may not make the playoffs, all these teams are capable of still getting hot. So
Yeah,
still a lot of baseball to be played, and it's like still over 50 games left in
that's
baseball. So
that's true. So with that, let's get into your team, man, and I'll go ahead and put the graphic and just go ahead and vent out.
oh man. Well, yesterday was just a horrible loss. Another blown save by Carlos Esteves. The Angels have just definitely been struggling. They're 0-7 since the trade deadline. It looks like this is finally over, Carlos. I think we just waited too long for Mike Trout to return. Anthony Rendon has just never shown up. And Logan O'Hoppe, we're just waiting for these 3-star players to come to the lineup. Never came around. The Angels did what they had to do, man. They had to provide the best players for Shohei to compete. That just turns out that these players are not turning out to be anything great. They are not producing any runs. Runners and bases are just being stuck in second, third all the time. Runs are not being produced. The pitching has just been average. There's only so much they could really do. As an Angel fan, I think this is over. They did do the right move by not trading Shohei. It was probably looks like it was a bad mistake, but looking back now, it's like, what could we do now? We're not going to get anything for Shohei to what we really wanted. So why not try to make a deep run one last time?
Yeah, and I know I can feel you on this one. I always tell the fans from other teams, and I always say like baseball is one of those games that even if you're 7 games back, if you're 10 games back, you still have a shot of trying to win the division. Baseball is a scary game to where you can be up 20 runs and you can be up 20 games and you still lose the division or you still lose the game. It's one of those games that's why it's so beautiful because you can play the game to its entirety to try to win the game. And there's no mercy rules on here. There's no giving up unless you're the Cardinals, unless you're the Rockies. You're getting ready to go into the off season during the season because you get eliminated. But when there's teams that you still have hope and you still have a chance to try to win these divisions, you still can go ahead and do that. I know that the Rangers are taking off with it, and the Houston Astros are right behind them. and you have the Mariners that just swept the Angels, and that kind of hurts
That
because
one hurt.
yeah, that
That
that series was important for the Angels because it's a division rival. So
a division
it's
rival, and you lost at home. That one hurts the most. Losing 4 straight games, and I don't know, man. It's just gonna see the offense couldn't get it going, and it just sucks, Carlos, because I feel like it's another wasted year for Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani.
yeah.
And as baseball fans, we want to see that.
Okay, so if you have Mike Trout coming back, do you feel like they're not gonna do it anything, or you think it's gonna? It's not. I mean, you're an Angel fan. You should kind of be like feel like okay, we're getting Trout back, and I know Anthony Rendon hasn't been there all year. Like you're supposed to be having him at
Yeah,
third base, but if he comes back as well, that kind of helps the lineup. And if they come back poised to play those last 2 months, because we're still in August, not even
right.
in mid half yet. So is that something that you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to it, how it all turns out, because I feel like this is a time to see what the GM's going to do in the future. Is it time to move off Trout as well? Do you want to give off his contract? Is it time to trade Anthony Rendon, which I don't think we'll get anything for this guy? And this guy just has not come out to play at all and has been a big disappointment for the Angel fans. And even with them coming back, I don't see if they could get their timing on time.
Yeah.
Baseball is a sport where you need to get your timing off to get these great base hits. This is where I kind of get concerned, and I don't see them making a run anymore.
Ah, man,
It
don't give
hurts.
up.
It hurts.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up.
We
That
need
one
a
kind of
miracle.
like,
We need a miracle.
and it can happen, dude. If you guys stay tuned, I have a did you know, and that's kind of what made me feel like I'm not giving up on my team, and even if it's like the ninth inning, you're down by 10. I'll go give it story. The Padres were down by 11, actually by 5 runs, and they score 11 runs in the ninth inning to win it. That's when Tony Gwynn was with the Padres back in 1995, I believe it was. And
Oh,
from that game, I kind of felt like, man, like that baseball is just a beautiful game. That's why you should never give up on your team. And when you do, it's because they're probably eliminated already. But the Angels are still making that run, so don't give up.
we're
You
still
know,
8 games back.
Yeah, from the division or the wild card.
Wild card. That's looking kind
Damn,
of rough, Carlos. You have to go
it
over
is.
like the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Mariners, and you got to hope the Blue Jays lose. It's kind of
Yeah. Well,
it's looking
since you
hard
talked
and hard.
about the Yankees, let's get back into the Yankees, man. What's going on with the Yankees, dude? There's been a lot of news on them.
As we look at this play, Giancarlo just terrible run base to home. Looks like this guy's not even trying. Carlos, what is he doing out there?
Well, a lot of people saying that he didn't want to run it out because he didn't want to get injured. Imagine the fans getting mad and telling Boone, why did you send them home? Why did you make them run super fast? Like that's
Dude,
that's another. You're dealing
you're
with dealing with the game. You're dealing with the player. You're dealing with your players. You're dealing with the media. It's just too much. Aaron Boone is taking on a lot of stuff, man.
dude, this is a lack of effort and standing for the amount of money you're getting paid. The fans are expecting better than this.
No, I bet, and but they're still in the wild card run. They're
They're
still
still,
trying to make it,
it's
but
amazing to
little
me how
things
they're
like
in the
this,
hunt. Yeah, they're
yeah,
still in the hunt, Carlos. But things like this is what brings the team down. Now, not only that, they had a terrible weekend. They even though they split the series with the Astros, there was little signs where they played very terrible. They should have had a double play earlier in that weekend. They kind of blew it. The team just continues to struggle. Judge actually went 0 for 12 against the Astros this weekend. And now, the team, Aaron Boone just got ejected yesterday for, arguing against the balls and strikes. It had a really hilarious, breakdown there. But it's amazing, man, what the Yankees are going through. And the team is just not looking like motivated and looks like they're done.
yeah. You think so? All right, with Herman, I know you have the Herman story and everything. We'll go through it right now, but I feel like Aaron Boone is in the hot seat right now,
Oh, for
and
sure. Him and Cashman are in the
are
hottest, yeah, the hot seat.
they did not make a trade in the trade deadline. They did not boost their team or try to make it better. Um, do you feel like this is one of those things where they're going to get fired at the end of the season or during the season because they're still fighting for that playoff spot, right?
No,
So
definitely. I think this is going to happen towards the end of the season. Once they don't make the playoffs, it's time to move on. And not
time
only
to move.
that, because the same way fans are saying that the Angels are wasting Trout's and Ohtani's career with the Angels, the Yankees are also wasting Judge's career there with the Yankees. They're not bringing Garrett Cole as well. There are players that have been dominating the game for such a couple years now, and we're not seeing no type of players being produced. Like, they brought Carlos Rodon, his second time going to the injured list now. Domingo Germán just went out through the restricted list, which we'll break down pretty soon. Nestor Cortez has just not been the same pitcher he was once a couple years back, and Frankie Montas has not pitched all year. So it feels like Garrett Cole is the only pitcher out there producing for the Yankees.
Yeah, because you're talking about Aaron Judge, you're talking about Garrett Cole, but you're forgetting about Stanton, which we saw him run to home plate. He didn't put much effort, but you're talking about these big time players with the Yankees. So I think it's time, man, to move on from their manager. He did kind of called that strike yesterday, where it was a strike. It wasn't out of the plate. And that kind of made him look bad. But when he went, I'm pretty sure when he went to the dugout, he saw the play. He was like, "What the hell? What's the strike?" Like, damn,
He
it
got
kind of
tossed
sucks
out.
for him. But yeah,
that just shows you the season they're having and how upset they're feeling out there in the Yankee Stadium. How they continue to lose. They lost to the White Sox last night. That wasn't great neither. The team just continues to lose, man. World Profound says, "Sub dude, say thanks for tuning in." World Profound. We appreciate. Hopefully, you could give us a like out there and subscribe to the channel. But when we're talking about the Yankees, man, now we have the Domingo Germán situation. This guy showed up to the stadium drunk, Carlos. Guy had a wild night, showed up to the stadium, started breaking the TV, started smashing the couches, and started trying to fight with his teammates. This guy got sent to the sauna room, Carlos, to take out the alcohol out of his system, and got put to sleep. They told him to go to the nap room to take a nap. What the hell's going on out there, man? Domingo Germán, what a crazy season for him. Talking about the guy that's been caught cheating with the sticky substances, throws a perfect game, and now he gets to the stadium drunk, and that's going to rehab. What the hell's going on with the Yankees?
He's still celebrating, dude. He's still celebrating out there. He should do it old school. The old school players used to drink out in the dugout. They used to come sober to the game and start drinking in the dugout. Josh Beckett was one of the big players from the Boston Red Sox, and he did it here in LA when they traded him. He used to drink in the dugout. He'd be like, "You know what? I'm not pitching today, so why not relax and enjoy the game?" And started drinking.
So it'll be on days he wouldn't pitch.
Exactly. Not the days that he pitched. Like, there's so many interesting players out there that has done drugs and stuff like that while they pitch. I believe one from the Pittsburgh Pirates, I forget his name. He was on LSD and threw a perfect game. So it's crazy. Let's say World Profoundly, he's not smoking cigarettes like Engine Real. Hey, yeah, man.
He does?
If he was smoking out there. I believe if you don't Tim Anderson, I believe his name is Tim Anderson. No, not Tim Anderson. The coach from the Tigers.
AJ Hinch?
Not Agent Hinch. He's the one of the old coaches.
Jim Leland.
Is it Leland? He used to smoke, right? With the Pirates?
Jim Leland used to smoke, yeah.
He used to smoke as well. Like, it's crazy. So if he's smoking, you don't think he's drinking? Of course he's drinking some whiskey. That's why they get all like mad, and maybe Aaron Boone is doing the same thing. Oh, they're drinking six whatever he's drinking, and he gets out. That was a ball. That's a ball.
I think they're just having it, man. That's how the season is, and that's how it's rough time in Yankees team is having. I don't recall this bad of a Yankee team. When's the last time you remember this bad of a Yankee team, Carlos? I don't know.
Something that wasn't consistent to me. I believe it was probably, I want to say, the 90s, the Yankees were good. I don't really remember the 80s, but the 90s, they were good. The 2000s, they were pretty, they were all right.
They were good.
Yeah, it's just, I don't remember the Yankees not making the playoffs with a good team. Because you can say, okay, the Yankees didn't have a good team, that's why they didn't make the playoffs. But the Yankees have always had a good team, have always tried to push for the playoffs. Even when they don't make it, you kind of understand, like, hey, well, they didn't make it because you have these injuries and you have this going on. I know Aaron Judge is not 100%, and you've said it on this show so many times, they're Aaron Judge dependent, and it's looking like that right now, for sure. So,
and they're looking kind of old now, too, Carlos. Ever since I've been watching baseball since the late 90s, I've not seen a Yankee team this bad. Even though they're playing over 500 right now, baseball, it just doesn't look like the Yankees were normally used to seeing.
Exactly.
And I think that's why the fans are ready to move on from Cashman and boom. And I feel like fans recently in the stadium were having fire Cashman signs around the stadium, and they were getting kicked out of the stadium for having those signs.
Wow, are you serious?
So
That's
so
not
if you're
cool.
gonna
I mean,
Yankee, you're not allowed to have any signs saying to fire the GM.
why? You're paying for your ticket. You can put whatever you want. If they don't like it, then do better. Do better. It's the same
Yeah,
thing with
do better.
I think I missed a topic here. I didn't put the playoff bracket since we already have it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. If you're paying for your ticket, you should go ahead and put your signs out there or whatever. I mean, as long as it's not um, you know disrespecting someone or saying bad words, because there is kids watching this game. But if you're saying fire Cashman, or if you're saying sit stand down, or sit whoever players out there in the Yankees, because Yankees have a huge fan base, and I'm surprised that none has come out here and talked crap to us, because we're kind of talking bad about the Yankees. But I mean, whatever. The slide's up, and the postseason is ready. Their schedule is ready, so it's set to begin on October 3rd, all the way to November 4th, if the World Series goes to Game 7 and beyond. I mean, beyond Game 5, I believe. If it goes beyond Game 5 in the World Series, we're going to see November baseball. And the last time we saw November baseball, it was 2001. I believe it was when it was the Twin Towers falling, and it was the Diamondbacks against the Yankees, and the Diamondbacks took that one.
Was that when Mr. November got called Derek Jeter? I'm sorry, they named Derek Jeter Mr. November.
Exactly, that's when they call him Mr. November, because of that. And it was an amazing World Series. It was a story to remember. I mean, it was amazing. Yankees fans can have an opinion.
That's what.
Of course they can. But Yankee fans, I guess. I mean, Yankee Stadium is one of those stadiums to where you better act professional, you better dress professional, you better shave, and you better and
follow
that's
the
what
rules.
They want. Exactly, they want your fans to be the same way. I feel so. Sucks to be a Yankee fan right now. If they're kicking you out for those signs, I would immediately start reevaluating my fan base and be like, hey, if this is what we want, is this what we want? No. You want to be able to shout out and say whatever you guys want. So, I mean, they're saying the F Altuve out there. Why don't they censor that?
That is true. Right. You got a point.
Yeah.
Now that we're looking at this postseason schedule, Carlos, sorry to cut you off there. It's crazy to me. So the season ends October 1st. So these first and second seeds are going to be off for the wild card, are almost going to have 6 days off before they play a next game. And that's what we're talking about, this postseason new format, how the first and second seeds are being hindered and are struggling once they come to the ALDS or NLDS, because they have such a long time off, almost a whole week. Do you like the schedule?
Not really. I don't like the schedule, because I don't feel like the 1 and 2 slots on top have to wait 6-7 days to start playing their playoff game. The teams that play in the wild card, they get momentum, and they go, and they showed it last year. And I'm gonna bring up the Padres again. That's a good example. They thought they won the World Series when they beat the Dodgers, last year, and they made it to the NLDS. Like, what's worse, being the top team and not performing during the season, or beating the top team in the playoff when having a top tier team? So for me, is having a top team and not even doing anything with it. So
yeah, man. And the way I look at the schedule, it just makes me wonder, all this time off, that's kind of bad for baseball. You want to see that your favorite 1 and 2 seed playing already once the playoffs start. You don't want to be waiting 6 days into the postseason to see your team play and having a week off. At this point, they should just have an 8 team per league. Make it a 16-team playoff, 8 teams from each side, and that way every team plays once the postseason starts.
Exactly. It's kind of tough, though. It's going to be tough for whoever's going to be on the first and second seed, because I do believe that they're going to be one of those teams that are going to sit back, relax, and then you have the team that comes with momentum. Whoever said that baseball doesn't carry momentum, it's really wrong, because we saw it last year. We saw the Phillies and the Padres gain momentum as soon as they beat the Cardinals and the Mets. So it's pretty crazy. So
hey, we got a question on the comments. Let's see. Okay. World Profound asking us. Let me ask you this, Carlos. What was your guys' favorite trade, and what was your worst
for this year?
Yeah, I would say this year.
I think, and I'm not a Astros fan. I think the Verlander trade was very, very, very successful. I think that the the Astros to me are
Yeah.
looking way better. I know the Rangers are in first place and they got Scherzer, but I feel like the Astros, they made that trade, and of course he's been there before. He knows the culture. Why not get him again and put him on that team? The team is already doing great, and you bring Verlander. That's just more experience added to the team, which he's already been there. He was a champ with them, so I think that's the one that won for me. Not
Yeah, that was a
and
great trade.
yeah. And what about you?
Oh man, as an Angel fan right now, Lucas Giolito has been terrible for us these past two starts. It's been the worst trade we could have ever thought. We gave up our number 2 and number 3 prospect for this guy just so he could not win us a game. And now
Yeah,
we're 0-7 and we're looking like we're out of the playoff run. Hopefully he could shut me up and change things around tonight. But this is his third start going into tonight, and he's 0 for 2 with like ERA over 5. So it's not looking great for Lucas. Looks like he can't get his stuff going, and maybe the new team as well, not giving him enough run support. So
yeah.
times are tough at Angel Stadium.
And what about the good trade, the favorite trade that you've heard or that you
Oh
thought was
man,
good?
I thought the Dodgers did some great moves, but I think the Max Scherzer also was a good one, Carlos. To the
Okay,
Rangers, I thought it was
okay,
a great pickup. That's a great arm to their lineup, even though he's kind of older. But you can never like the more pitching you have in the playoffs, the better.
yeah. And World Profound Lucas has been trashed. Damn, yeah, that's true. I think, to be honest, I might have to agree on you with that one, Ernie, because I don't see
Yeah,
no other trades that have been up there to where I remember, like, okay, this player hasn't performed, he hasn't done anything. Everybody that has moves scenery has been performing, has been doing
yeah.
great. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you, but I don't agree with you on the favorite one. I think you went Scherzer, I went Verlander. We keep it in the West.
Yeah, I mean the AL West have the best trades.
Yeah, I
Between
believe I
the
believe so.
Rangers and Astros have the best trade deadline.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. All right, so we do have the series recap. I do have them written down, and I'll go over them. And I did see that there's a lot of teams that were. I mean, there was a lot of baseball this weekend, of course. And I did see that the one of the ones that I was kind of like I was seeing um, this weekend was the Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox, and it kind of sucks for the Red Sox because they kind of felt like I felt like they were in it all series, but 2 games out of those they got blown out. But let's go over the list. You have the Dodgers and the Padres, of course. The Dodgers won 3-1 in that series. You have Washington, Cleveland, and then Washington? Of course, Washington beat Cleveland. Wait, that's the wrong one. I'm looking at the wrong slide. Sorry.
What?
All right, let's go. Atlanta Cubs. This one was an amazing one. You have the Cubs winning this one, which was 2-1 against the Atlanta Braves. And I have
Yeah.
a interesting fact right here right now that one of my buddies sent me, and it was Austin Riley, dude. You see his batting average when he has runners on scoring position, and they're not all that great. When you're looking at bases loaded, you see a 0-0 batting average, and that just tells you how deep this team really is. Like I believe that this man, if he starts hitting with runners in scoring position, I think it's going to be one of those things where the Braves are just going to be winning the whole thing. Because I mean, come on, look at the ER. I mean, the batting average. You see scoring position a .194, and that doesn't fly if you have runners on scoring position. I just feel like Austin Riley needs to wake up. I kind of want to throw this out there because there is Braves fans out there that listen to the show, and if you do agree, go ahead and hit that like button for sure. But let's keep moving on from this. We have
Yeah,
more
man.
questions. Yeah, we do,
Looks like
right?
we do. World Profound is asking: is Toronto second half type team or are the Red Sox in regression? I I look at that Toronto roster and they have a complete team, Carlos. They have the team to make it a deep run in the playoffs. And when I look at the Red Sox, I still see them kind of young. Them trading Kike Hernandez made me feel like they're not looking to make a deep run this year. I don't know, man. I definitely think Toronto's a second half type team. And with Bo Bichette and players like that and Vladimir Guerrero, George Springer, and Ryu coming back. Man, this team is just loaded, Carlos. What the
Yeah,
hell? Why people don't ever talk about Toronto? Is it because they're in a different country?
probably. Not only that, but they are playing good baseball, and I feel like they are going to be that second half type team that actually gets into the playoffs and does something with it. I don't think the Red Sox have enough to make it to the playoffs. I just feel like the Red Sox this weekend was one of those series where they got a little bit humble. You're talking about the Alex Verdugo as well, where they're talking a lot about him. Alex Cora just came out there. That was one of the hardest things he had to do to sit him down. And I mean, it's one of those things where they don't have enough depth. So yes, Toronto for sure they're going to make it somewhere in the playoffs, and they're a young team, exciting young team. We have another one right here since we have Austin Riley. Riley has been crushing. He has, but the thing is, when he has runner on scoring position, that's where he needs to perform a little bit better. And I'm not hating on him. It's just one of those things where I feel like I have a lot of Atlanta Brave fans watch the show, and they were telling me about it. I'm like, oh, that's true. Look at his numbers. And just wanted to throw that out there so people can see that Austin Riley does need to pick it up when there's runner on scoring position.
That's crazy
Braves,
to me to see these
Braves,
stats.
yeah, right. I mean, but you see the Braves. The Braves are in first place though. So why even?
They're so deep, Carlos. That just tells you how much like a batter 1 through 9 could still do any damage for the Braves. You know, we got Marcell Ozuna batting 5th. I think Austin Riley bats 3rd, and then Matt Olson comes after him as a cleanup hitter and cleans it all up. So it doesn't matter. It's either Riley, Olsen, or Ozuna going to bring in all the runs.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's keep moving on with the scores and the series. I guess it was the White Sox in Cleveland, which was the White Sox took 2 out of 1 in that big brawl. You have the Washington Nationals took 3 out of the 3-game series out of the Reds. So this is where I feel like the Cubs can take advantage of all this stuff. You have the Rays in Detroit. You know, you have the Rays win 2 out of the 3. You have the Angels Seattle, which we already discussed, which was a sweep of the 4-game series. And that one was the one that hurt the most. You have the Astros Yankees, we already talked about. They went 2. They split the series. They had 4 games. And then you had the Arizona Diamondbacks with the Twins. That the Twins took that series, and the Twins are in first place out there. So it's looking like they're kind of running away with it. So we'll see what happens in the Central. And then you have Texas against Florida, which Texas took 3 games away from Florida. You have the Mets in Baltimore. Baltimore, of course, swept that series. Boston, Toronto, that one, we were just talking about it. They swept that series. And then San Francisco and Oakland, that one was tough. Oakland beat San Francisco on the 2-game series. It started on Saturday and Sunday. They didn't play on Friday. And then you have the Brewers Pirates, which the Brewers took 3 out of the 4, which is kind of cool. And then you have the Cardinals and Rockies, which I didn't do no mention. I'm sorry if you're a Cardinal Rocky fan. I'm sorry. It's just I didn't want to waste my time on that one. I just felt like the Cardinals.
We're getting to the point in baseball right now, the season, Carlos, where these teams are not making. They're out of playoff contention. Like, why even talk about them? Because once September comes around, they're just going to be playing other AAA players, most of these teams. So it's kind of like guys that, maybe are good prospects if you do have a fantasy baseball team for the next season. But for now, we're just kind of focused on the teams that are producing and are winning.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to go into the knowledge, and then we'll do the did you know after, and we'll go through that.
All right. Let me test your knowledge, Carlos. Well, since we know a lot of baseball, right? When I want to test people's baseball knowledge, I like to ask them, hey, what year have you been watching baseball? And can you name me all the champions from that year you remember till now?
Yeah.
And I know you're a huge Dodger fan, right? And I know the Dodgers won in '88. Did you get to watch that one?
I don't really see. That's the thing. So I don't know if I remember from past, from when I was a kid that I was watching the game. I do remember vaguely that my dad was really into the game. And I do remember walking through the living room, but not really paying so much attention. I guess as I got older, I started to remember those clips. So I don't know if it was that I'm watching those clips and I'm saying, I do remember. So I'm not going to say, yes, I do. But no, I don't think I do. I just remember walking through the living room, my dad watching the World Series, and he told me, this is important. This is important knowledge that you're going to remember later on. And look, I'm doing a baseball podcast on it, and it's awesome. Fun, man. Yeah. So, all right. So 88 and present or right?
Yeah. So if you can name all the champions, all the World Series champions from 1988 till today present era. Now you don't have to know who their opponent was. You just got to tell me who was the champion. So 88, right. We know the Dodgers because you're a Dodger fan.
But you got to help me out though. If I mess up, help me out. And if you're on there and you're watching this show, go ahead and go into the comment and help me out. All right, so I'm going to go 89. I'm going to go the A's won that one.
Right.
And then 90, the Reds, right?
Yep.
Okay, 91. I believe it was the Twins.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Oh, okay. 92. I got it. I'm like, okay, cool. 92. I believe it was the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
93 Blue Jays.
94.
94 no baseball.
All right, I was just gonna trick you there.
95. I believe it was Atlanta Braves.
All right. So far,
90,
so good, Carlos. That's impressive. Okay.
96. I want to say. I don't know if I want to go back with the Twins. Wait. 96. 90. I know for sure the Braves were in it. Or were they?
96.
Okay, 96. I'm gonna say the Toronto Blue Jays again.
Oh no, man.
No?
It's the start of an era for New York.
Oh, the Yankees?
Yeah, the Yankees.
The Yankees won in 96. All right, cool.
They beat the Braves, remember?
Okay. They beat the Braves. All right. 90, 93. Oh, where are we going now?
All right, looks
97?
like Joel Rivera gave you the answer.
All right. Hey, help me out, Joel. I got you, man. All right. 97?
97. Who won?
The Marlins.
Okay. 98.
Yankees. 99 Yankees. 2000 Yankees. 2001 the Diamondbacks. 2002, of course, your Angels.
All
2003. Right. Who was it? 2003. The Marlins again. Okay. 2004. I want to say the White Sox. Is it? No, is it wrong?
You're like a year early.
A year early? Okay. Give me
2004.
2004.
It's one of the most iconic World Series. You gotta. It's
iconic.
Something big happened. Like we hadn't seen this team win in years.
Oh shoot! Damn, I'm blanking out. Nah, you're putting me on the spot. I don't know who is it.
If anybody's watching, they want to help out Carlos. 2004.
2004.
They had one of the most iconic ALCS. One of the greatest comebacks.
Oh, the Red Sox.
The Red Sox, 2004.
The Red Sox. Ah, okay, the Red Sox. That one hurt. Okay, so then the Red Sox, and then 05, what's the White Sox?
Yes.
06. Dang, 06. See, this is where I'm a stumble, man. And 06. It wasn't the Yankees. It wasn't. I want to say. Oh, man. Someone help me out. Tony, Joe, someone. We have like 5 viewers right now. Help me out right here. 06.
I give up on this one. It's a team from the Midwest.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
The Cardinals, 06. Okay. 07. Damn.
I feel like I'm going to stumble on this one too. This was like kind of the back-to-back where like I always have to review. 07.
Is this one the back-to-back?
No, it was not back-to-back.
It wasn't back-to-back. Okay. So this one was more like from where? Give me a hint. Where are they coming from?
AO East.
AO East.
That's too big.
It wasn't. Oh man. The Red Sox again?
Yeah, the Red Sox won again.
Oh damn!
With Big Papi, yeah.
Big Papi. I'm gonna put that on there. All right. So then, what are we going? 08?
08. Go 08.
The Phillies.
Okay.
What's it? 09. The Yankees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
10.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. 2010.
2010. Damn. Come on. Someone help me out.
2010. It's your toilet seat.
Oh, the Giants. That's when they. Oh man, they suck. And I don't have a story for that one, man. Oh my god, that one's gonna hurt too. All right, the Giants, and then 11. You have the Kansas City Royals. Is that 11?
No.
Or is that the Cardinals?
Cardinals again. Yes, Cardinals.
Cardinals. 12. Giants. Then you 13. Have the Kansas City Royals in 13.
Nope, not the Royals yet. You're too early in time.
Too early? Okay.
Yeah.
So then
that's the it's actually pretty hard. If you put them on the spot. Sorry, man. I need to put you on the spot.
That's good. I like it. Okay, so where are we? We're on 12 or 13?
Okay, 2012 was the Giants, right? You said?
The Giants. And then 13?
2013.
13. The Cardinals again? No?
No, another red team.
The Red Sox?
Yeah, it was the Red Sox
The
again.
Red Sox, 13?
They won
Man,
3, yeah.
Wow, the Red Sox just, decided to win World Series lately. All right,
Yep.
so then you have the 14, you have the Giants. 15, you have the Royals.
Right.
16, you have 16. You have the Cardinals again? No,
Cardinals haven't won ever since.
they haven't won since. You have 16. You have the Cubs. How can I forget that? The 17, the cheaters. I'm gonna say that 17 cheaters.
Okay.
18, you have the other cheaters, the Red Sox. 19, 19, you have the Washington Nationals.
All right.
20, you have the best team in the whole wide world, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Cool.
21, you have the Braves. And 22, last year, the Astros again. And I don't call them cheaters then because they won it fair and square. They were the best team.
That's pretty good, Carlos. You did pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like you just stumbled between the Cardinals and the Red Sox.
Yeah, those were kind of like, those were the teams that were making it to the playoffs in those years. Kind of like when the Braves were making it in the 90s, right? And then you kind of have like the Dodgers making it right now to the playoffs a lot too. So people are kind of gonna get confused if they win it a lot. So
that's pretty good, man. You guessed them pretty right.
Hey, I like that. I like that. Next, tune in for the next one, man. I like that. I like that, dude. That's pretty cool. I think we should do that more often, or maybe I should ask you to do it next year. From whatever year you're an Angels fan, from 2002 all the way up, and I think we'll do that one. Sure. We'll do that.
I'll try to remember the matches. How about that one?
Yeah.
I feel like I already know this list pretty good. I feel like I know from 88 till today.
88 till today?
Yeah, I feel like I already have it memorized by heart. And it's the only sport I know my champions, because I feel like with basketball I know it as well. But with football and like other sports, I feel like I struggle a little bit more to remember who won certain years.
Okay. All right. So let's go into the Did You Know part of this show. I had some stuff on here, and when I said about the Giants that it really hurt, man, I just have to do it. A lot of people don't remember this, and this is one of the things that I was mentioning to Ernie. Do not give up with your team. And I'll go ahead and play this, and after this, I'll go and talk about what the Did You Know was. The shot heard around the world, man. That one kind of hurt. So, look, this happened in 1951. The Dodgers were in first place by August 12, and you had the Giants, dude. They were trailing by 13 and a half games. They came back to this iconic moment, which was heard around the world. A lot of military bases heard the game, and that's when TV was around. So a lot of people got to see this game. And it was impressive to me, and a lot of people don't think that it's one of those things that is iconic because we're in LA, we don't get to hear this, but it's iconic in itself because the Giants came back 13 and a half. They won 37 of their last 44 games. That's crazy. That's a crazy stat.
Damn. So they went 37-7 the last 44 games?
Yeah, that's amazing, right? To win the pennant. They went to a 3-game playoff, and the Giants won that 2-1 series. And that home run there that made it the call around the world made it iconic. So the Giants won the pennant that year.
So you mean to tell me they tied at the end of the season and then they went into a 3-game playoffs just to determine the pennant winner?
Exactly. So that's amazing to know. If you didn't know your baseball history, that's a Did You Know. And I mean, never give up on your team, even if it's not even August 12th.
Back.
13 and a half back.
So the Angels have a chance?
Back. Yeah.
So the Angels have a chance?
Yeah, it's not even August 12th yet, and they're not even 13 and a half behind. So, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, when the Marlins won the World Series back in 97, they didn't have a lot of known players there. Yeah, now you know them, like Gary Sheffield, Livan Hernandez. You have all these top players that came out of there. Kevin Brown, and they won it. So when someone says, "Oh, they don't got enough to win it" or whatever, like, you don't know. The game of baseball is played so differently in different teams. Their culture might change the scenery with players changes. They catch on fire at the right time.
So that must have been that must have been a devastating season for the Dodgers to like
Oh
give
hell
up to
yeah,
the Giants, your rivals. That was a
yeah.
big time like loss.
So
And
you know why they what do you know what's the name for the Dodgers? What they call them in New York?
no, I didn't. What do they
They
call
call
them?
them them bums.
The bums.
Them bums, because they
They choked a
they always
lot.
yeah, they went to the World Series against the Yankees a lot. They only got one out of them out there in New York, and that's why they were them bums, and that's why every year, it must have been hard for them out there.
Yeah.
You got the New York Yankees, you got the New York Giants,
Giants.
and the New York Dodgers, and out of those two teams when they came west came a son called the Mets, and you have the Giants, the woman, and you have the Dodgers that went and out came the boy, the Mets, and that's their son right there. And you have the New York Mets and the New York Yankees out there. But yeah,
That's
13,
crazy.
13 games and a half.
And
Don't
and
don't
if you
give up.
guys
Don't give
and
up.
if you guys didn't know, back then there was no playoffs in baseball.
No.
So the way you would win the pennant was basically if you won the whole league, right, Carlos? If you had the
It was the
best
whole league.
record in the National League and the best record in the American League, then you would just go straight to the World Series and have your 7-game series.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why when the Dodgers played the Giants this past playoff, the atmosphere felt so like intense because it hasn't been played since that day, and then that was played in the Polar Grounds, and that Polar Grounds stadium is not there anymore. So
Damn.
it's interesting, dude, and it's
Man,
amazing to me. So
baseball has so much history, and
yeah,
it's amazing how much once a game that's been played for over 100 years, and the amount of history we have for this game, and the amount of statistics and the amount of data that there is, and that's why we love baseball, man. You never stop learning something new.
yeah, cool. Well, that was the did you know part of the thing, and of course we reached the part that we have to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you guys for logging in and liking the video. If you haven't done so yet, please like it and subscribe. If there's something that you would like us to change, go ahead and put it on there. That will really, really help us out. Ernie and I are doing it on Mondays. Today we had a little incident, but we're here on Tuesday and we discuss the topics. But moving forward, every Monday we're here and we're going to try to do it at 7 every time we can. And on Fridays, we do have the show with Xavi and Willpower, and they discuss the fantasy baseball part of it. And of course, they get into the news and everything on here. Last mentions, Ernie, before we go and head on out. Peace out, Tony.
First of all, thanks everybody for watching the show. We do appreciate you guys tuning in and adding the comments to make it more entertaining. We had a great show today, a lot of drama, a lot of great history to be taught, and hope you guys enjoy it. And stay tuned for the next week's episode to learn a little bit more about baseball and today's hottest topics.
Sounds good, man. All right, on Carlos Baseball. This
Ernie
is Ernie Orange. Real Talk Baseball, signing out.